Hey, what's up guys? I've got a tutorial for you today, and this is on the snake knot bracelet done my way, okay? And yeah, here are the snake knot bracelets. So I had a couple subscribers and fellow YouTubers ask me how to do these bracelets, and yeah, so this is for them, okay? And of course anyone else who feels like making these bracelets. So I've got a couple here that I've made before. This is the very first one I ever made, and this is the current one that I'm wearing. And a full credit of this obviously goes to JD of tying it all together. I used his tutorial on how to learn this weave. However, his weave or his method was a continuous bracelet that you just kind of roll on to your fist or your wrist. And I switched it up by doing a sort of knot and loop method closure. And yeah, I'm going to teach that to you guys now. All right, so let's get to the method. Okay guys, so getting to the how-to part, I've got my two strands of paracord here. They've already been fused together, so most of you guys should know how to do that. And I'm using the white and OD green, and I've got 5.5 of each, and that should be, yeah, I think just about enough for the average wrist size. Okay, so we're going to start by making the loop part of the closure, and it's very simple. So what we do first is I'm going to take my left strand and sort of make a loop around like this. Okay, so you're going to want the loop like this, and the right one going through the center. Okay, now I'm going to take the white one, I'm going to bring it behind. See, it's going behind this one, behind the green one. Bring it behind. I'm going to take this tip and put it through this half of the loop here. So in front of the white strand, like that, okay? Alright, this part's a little tricky. But anyways, just take your time with it. I'm going to pull it through, okay? So you see I'm trying to get this sort of bow tie thingy, okay? Alright, so now we're forming the loop. Okay, and there we go. Alright, so this is what you should have right now. Yep. You can kind of fix it up a bit. Okay. Now, what we're going to have to do, this is another slightly trickier part you have to play with. We don't want to just leave it like this because you can see the melted joined part here, and that's kind of ugly. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust it. So we're going to hide this right next to the loop to, yeah, so it looks nicer. Okay. So because I've already got less green, I'm going to pull this part down to here. Okay, and that you're just going to have to play with. So that means I'm going to need a bit more white on this side. Okay, so just bear with me. And if you play around with this enough, you'll be able to figure it out. You may have to like just loosen it a bit here and there. Okay. See how I'm just sort of feeding it through. You could do this, but I prefer the melted part to be behind here. Okay. Okay, I think I've almost got it. Alright. So there we go. I've got my loop now. Okay, so it's really, yeah, it's hard to explain this part. You'll just have to play around with it. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. And from here on in, it's pretty easy. Okay, so now that we've got our loop finished, and if you have any other previously made paracord bracelets, you can kind of test it to see if you got the size right. Just by putting it through like that and seeing if it works. And if you size it properly, there should be enough tension on the bracelet to keep it on your wrist, even though it kind of the loop is bigger than the knot. Alright, so we've got that. Now next we're going to start the weave. Okay, and the way we start this is, it doesn't matter which side is on top, but you're going to take one of these and just slightly loosen it. Okay, and all the while you're going to try to maintain the size of this loop. So I'm going to loosen this slightly like that, see? Now I'm going to take this green one, bring it behind the white. I'm going to take the tip of it, feed it through the loop. I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to cinch everything closed and tight. Like that, okay? So you see now I've got one white on top and two green on the bottom. One loop on the top, two loops on the bottom, okay? So that's the first step. Now, next, we're just going to turn it this way. We're going to do the exact same thing, okay? Again, you always want the two loops on the top. So I'm going to take the second loop, I'm going to loosen it a bit, right? And I'm going to take the white behind, so the green is on top of it. Just going to do the same thing. Feed it through this, and then I'm going to cinch it tight again. So what I like to do is hold these two strands here, and with my other hand just kind of pull on it and cinch it tight. So you can see we're starting to form the bracelet, the weave, right? And now if you turn it over, you'll see again there are two, well now there's two on the bottom, two on the top, but you always want to take the side that has two on it, and you can do the same thing. I'm going to loosen this one again. It'll be a lot easier once you just get the hang of it by doing the first few weaves. Put this through here, right? And I'm going to cinch it tight again. Okay, so you can see it's really starting to form. Now this method slightly differs from tying it all together's method, JD's method. What he does is he doesn't cinch it tight from the while he weaves it. He kind of leaves it a bit loose, kind of like that, right? See how it's still pretty slack, and he'll do the whole thing so that there's a lot of slack throughout, and then he'll just cinch the slack at the end. Now you could do it that way. There's nothing wrong with that, of course, but I found that if I cinch each snake knot weave tight each time I do it, the end result for me was a lot nicer. The weave was much tighter and much more solid. Okay, right? So yeah, you can see it's pretty simple. It's just the same thing over and over. Okay, starting to form, right, like that. So if you ever get lost, just look for the two loops on the top. That's the one you're doing. Okay. See, I've got two here and one here. Always look for the two on top, and then you just loosen, and then feed it through. Okay. So I hope that's clear. All right, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue weaving all the way down here, and then I'll show you guys how to close it off. Okay. Alright guys, so yeah, as you can see, I've continued my weave all the way down to here. And now because this was kind of like just a demo bracelet, I didn't use the full 5.5 feet. So yeah, this is not going to be the exact right length. But you know, just for demonstration purposes, yeah, this is it. Okay, so now, as you can see up to here, this is where I've stopped weaving. So you can see there's the two up top and the one on the bottom, so you're just going to stop there. And at this point, you're going to, if you did it the other way, you'll have to work out any excess you have and tighten it up nicely, or if you did it my way, you should be just like this, okay? And now the very last step is super easy. It is tying the that very famous button knot, and I'm not really going to go through each of the steps because I do have a separate tutorial on this, which I will link down below. But yeah, at this point, you'll just tie your button knot right here, and then you'll have, yeah, full closure, right? So I'm just going to do it really quickly. Okay. Alright, so do my loop like that. Bring it around. Over. Under. And again, yeah, if this part isn't clear, you can just check out my other tutorial on that. Okay. Got my diamond. Bring this around here. I'm going to continue and bring this one up here. Okay, cinch it up. Okay, so I got my knot, and now I'm going to adjust it to here. Yeah, I'm going to move this knot to here. Okay, so that's about it. Yeah, normally I would have this knot maybe just slightly closer, or maybe almost the same. This is a previous one I did. Yeah, it's about right. Okay, and then of course from here you will just, you know, cut off the excess, melt the tips, and then you will have your snake knot bracelet. Right, just to show you. See, it does fit through. And if you size it properly, there should be enough tension to keep the knot in the loop like this, because yeah, it'll keep some tension on it if it's fitted properly and snugly, and it won't just slip off like that. And clearly, yeah, this one's way too small because it's just a demo. I guess you could maybe put it on like a baby. I don't know. Alright, so yeah, that's about it, guys. That is the snake knot bracelet tutorial. I hope you found it useful, and you know, and about like the bead, you'd basically start it off here, go all the way up to the middle, and then you would finish it kind of up to here, and you'd slip on whatever bead you have, and then just restart it like you did at the very beginning. Okay? So yeah, there we go, snake knot tutorial. Hope you guys found this useful. I hope this was clear enough and that I did everything in a fashion that was understandable. If there's any problems or questions, further questions, let me guys know, and maybe I can address it in a future video. And that's about it. So there you go, guys. Snake knot bracelet, my style. Okay? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.